Hi everyone, welcome to On the Other Hand. I'm Ariane Zurcher, and today I'm going to be demonstrating turkey work. It's a lot of fun, but first things first, don't forget to click on that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithms to recommend my video to more people, and subscribe if you haven't already by clicking on the subscribe button. Let's get started with turkey work. Someone asked me on my YouTube channel to do another video of turkey work. She was having a tough time seeing exactly what I was doing on the other video that I have up. So I'm going to go ahead and do it again. I'm going to use Aurora thread, which is by the Thread Gatherer. It's got a little metallic to it. There are a lot of threads that look really great for turkey work. Any plied thread, so something like this, which is like an embroidery floss where it's plied. A pearl cotton would work beautifully. Anything that you can then go and separate the plies, it's going to poof out more. Another one that I really love using is shepherd silk, also from the Thread Gatherer. I love the pearl cottons from Steph Francis with a variegation in it, so you get a whole lot of different colors within your turkey work. Those are fun. The other thing that I just wanted to mention was a bunka brush. These are great for separating the threads when you do your turkey work. If you have a cat or a dog, you probably have a brush like this. Do you see how there are little wires like that? That's all you need. Just clean your brush of the cat and dog hair and brush away. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead. And the other thing about turkey work is you don't have to use just one thread. You can mix it up. You can use a couple of different threads. But I'll do it for now with some Aurora. I'm going to use an 18 chenille needle. If I was using a lighter weight thread like an 8 weight, I would be using a 24 chenille. The chenille needle, it's not a wrap thread stitch, so a chenille needle is what you're going to want to use. Go ahead and do a quilter's knot. And then come up anywhere that you want your turkey work. So here's the thing about turkey work. People talk about how you need to go in a row and then you go back in a row and you go back and forth. And that's fine. But the truth is, it doesn't matter which way or whether you're going in rows or up and down or completely random. If you have a space to fill, so let's say I want to do a little circle of turkey work. You can go completely randomly. You can go in a circle, you can do random, you can go back and forth, you can do whatever you feel like. The only thing that you have to be sure of is that when you do your loop, you want to make sure that your loop is as tall as the height of your turkey work. So if you want your turkey work to be quite high, like that, make sure that your loop is that big. Now, you make a loop, and now you're going to anchor that loop. You come up anywhere. It doesn't matter whether it's in front or in back. It does not matter. You just need to make sure that you're anchoring it with a little tack stitch. Now, the way you know that you've anchored it is you pull hard. Do you see how I'm pulling hard? That loop is not going anywhere. That's all you need for turkey work. And you just keep doing this. And I'm going to do this randomly just so that you can see what I mean. You do not need to worry about anything else other than make sure that your loop is tall enough. You can always trim it down. And make sure that you've anchored it somewhere nearby. So, take a loop, make an anchor. Take a loop. That's my anchor. And you always know if you're talking, you don't pay attention, did I make an anchor? Pull on it. If it doesn't move, you've made your anchor. Now it's time for a loop. I'm doing this randomly on purpose so that you can see that it does not matter. I'm going to anchor it now. Pull on it. It's not moving anywhere. If I see a little gap here, looks like there's a little bare spot, you can also go in afterwards. It's a little bit harder to go in after the fact, but you can do it. So a loop and an anchor. It doesn't matter where. I'm going to come up over here now. Loop, anchor, next loop, anchor. I want to make sure that loop is tall enough. Anchor, pull on it to make sure. Yep, that was my anchor. Here I'm going to do another loop. I'm going to do an anchor over here. It's not even at the foot of the loop. You just want to make sure that it's secure. That's all. That's all you need to worry about. Another loop. Anchor, loop. Do you see how my anchor isn't even close? I'm doing that on purpose so that you can see. The point is you have to anchor it so that you don't lose that loop when you start cutting. But do you see I'm pulling, nothing's moving. As long as when you yank on that thread, it doesn't move, you're good. You don't need to worry about anything else. So I hope that this has taken some of the worry and fear out of turkey work, because turkey work is really simple. It's a loop. It's a loop that you've anchored, and that's it. I can't remember if I anchored this. I did, so this is a loop, okay? So let me anchor it. Uses up a lot of thread. I'm going to do one more loop and an anchor. My loop, here's my anchor. I'm going to end my thread because I've pretty much run out. I have nowhere to really go with this. All right, I'm going to go ahead now before I cut all this, and I'm going to use this shepherd silk, which is a similar color, this kind of variegated blues, and I'm going to go ahead and put some of this shepherd silk in and among the aurora, just so you can see how you can play with the turkey work. It doesn't all have to be the same thread. You can use different threads, and it kind of makes a whole different look to it, which is kind of fun. As I said, you can always trim those loops down, so just be sure that they're long enough. That's all you care about. Is it long enough? If it is, you're good. Anchor it. I'm going to do a loop over here. This is also how you might fill in if you felt like it wasn't dense enough. So I'm anchoring it, and I'm doing another loop right here, and I'm going to anchor it over here. Anchor, and do a loop over here. Just have to hold these off to the side so that I can pull this through without yanking a whole bunch of other stuff with it. Anchor it. Get another loop over there. Here's my loop. I'm going to anchor it. So there's my loop. And here's where I'm going to anchor it. I'm just putting it down right there. So that's my anchor. Okay, let's see. What else? I think it's pretty dense. And when you brush it, it's going to be even more so. I'm going to put one more loop in here. And I'm going to anchor it right there. Just the other thing about anchoring, you just want to make sure you're not putting your needle down in the spot that you just came up, or it disappears on you. I'll do one more loop over here. And I'll anchor it right there. Okay. That's going to give me a nice little something to work on. Not sure what that is. Not going to worry about it. Sometimes you get a little nest back there if you're not paying attention. That's okay. I'm going to hide my thread in here. Unless you're doing really fine work, I'm not. Typically, this is not going to matter. Now I come in with a pair of scissors. It helps to have actually a pointed pair of scissors and not a blunted pair like I'm using. But you're just going to go and cut all those loops. And I think that's it. Okay. I can go ahead and trim this right away because I can see that it's all different lengths. I'm going to go ahead and just trim that so that they're all sort of similar. If you want a kind of pom-pom effect, you can sort of trim it in around, so that the sides are not as tall as the center part. Then I'm going to take my bunka brush and I'm going to brush it. And what happens is that it separates. Those little fine metal prongs are going to separate each of these threads out. They untwist, and the whole thing gets very fluffy. You can also do it with a needle. It just can be a little bit more laborious and take a little bit longer. But there it is. I'm going to go ahead and trim this excess here. And that's my turkey work. I hope you found this helpful and that this answered some of the questions or took some of the fear out of this. It's a very simple stitch. It really is not a big deal at all. You just have to remember that you need to create a loop and anchor the loop. Create a loop, anchor the loop. And other than that, and being aware of how high you make those loops so that you've got the height you want, that's really it. How you do it. Does it matter that I went back and forth? Does it matter that I went completely random? I don't think so. As long as you do it densely enough, you're going to be fine. Thanks so much for watching. And until next time, Here's to stitching together. Don't forget to click on that thumbs up button if you like this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. You can also click on the little bell for email notifications.